I've gotten a few suggestions for videos in the past few weeks of doing this shit, and some of them just don't have enough, let's just say, substance to make a dedicated video on, or to bullshit my way through 10 minutes of just talking about that one subject. So this time we're going to take a few suggestions and answer them all in a single video. And these are suggestions that I get in comments or also tweets. So here we go. So the first one is from Julian. I hope I pronounced that right. I definitely will get names wrong. Don't worry about it. Queens that went home far too early. This is kind of similar to my thoughts on the whole robbed controversy that keeps happening. I don't really think anyone went home too early. They went home at their time. There's only one queen that I'm like, I wish you had stayed longer on your season. Not something of, I want to see you back on All-Stars. Like, I specifically want to see them again on their season. And that's Kelly Mantle. Now, that may also be because I knew of Kelly before Drag Race, so that may have something to do with it. But I really thought she had more to give. And even though I do think she lost a lip sync at the end and deservedly was in the bottom, I wish I had seen her again. Like, I wish if they brought someone back, it would have been her. But, you know, say Ben de la Creme, I guess. You know, I have my own thoughts on Ben de la Creme. We won't get into that because that is off subject. But next question or next suggestion is Queen Eric, and they suggested a video on what kind of queen I think will win season 10 based on the past season's winners. I think this question was asked on like this Sharon Needles video. So it's kind of like, here's the patterns of what happens in Drag Race. But I can't really predict anything because I'm so shit at that kind of stuff. But I mean, I thought Peppermint was going to win season 9 throughout the entirety of the competition, and that definitely didn't happen. So I don't really know. If we look at it, we had, let's go back to like season 6, because anything before that is a completely different show. But so we had Bianca, who's a comedian, and then we had Violet, who's very fashion. At least that's what we got from her, was fashion. And then Bob, who was another comedian, and then Sasha, we view her as an artsy queen. So I would like someone that is, honestly, I want a pageant queen. I really want a pageant queen to win so badly. Like, you have no idea. Like, I want a pageant queen from the get-go to be the winner. Because to me, that is the shit. That is so needed. But the problem with that is there's a lot of, you know, some pageant queens don't make their own outfits. Some don't even do their own makeup. Or like they're good performers, but sometimes they can't act. It's a lot of things like that. And we did have Trinity, who like transcended that this season, which I'm really glad for, because she did sway a few people on the pageant queen conversation. And we've had that conversation in the comments before, which I'm really glad about. So, I would say pageant queen. I would really like a pageant queen. A lot of people are going for Eureka right now, and Eureka's a pageant queen. Granted, it's Eureka versus 12 blank faces that we really don't know who's part of season 10. At least I don't think so. I don't look at leaks, so don't leak. I know All-Stars 3 got leaked because people on my All-Stars 3 video can't stop commenting on it, but I don't know if season 10 has been leaked yet. Yeah, so I'll say pageant queen. That's who I think will win season 10. This is from Sergio Rosendo, and they want me to discuss the show's production's preference and favoritism for cute boys / fish queens like Pearl, Naomi, and Farrah. I think it's pretty simple. Pretty people have it easier. Outside of Drag Race, pretty people have it easier. In everyday world, pretty people have it easier. It's not really that hard of a concept. Specifically on Drag Race, I see it in times where queens that are fishy or, you know, are conventionally attractive can get away with wearing something very simple compared to someone that has a very exaggerated look and is wearing something more complicated, let's say, but more, in my opinion, extravagant. They get the fishier queen will get rewarded for what they're doing, and at times it's not entirely bad. There are times where, you know, those extravagant looks are too much, or they don't exactly fit, or there's something off about them. But there are times where the fishy look is just a simple look. So it's not so simple as in that, but I do think the fan base really responds more to a very fishy look at the time. I think after the race, as in on stage, people respond more to like, oh, that's Trixie Mattel. I love Trixie Mattel. You know, it's things like that. I think it's things like that. But the show's preference is that they know pretty people help, you know, get ratings, and they know they're going to tweet about it. They know they're going to reblog. They know they're going to Snapchat that shit. So it is in their best interest to save pretty people and younger people at that for the entire competition. It's kind of a shame because I don't always consider them the most talented. They can easily be, but there are times where I feel that they get saved because of their looks. And granted, looks are half the show. They're half the show. They're the runway. They're the part that a lot of people remember. There are times where I do think girls are saved a little bit more. Maybe not to like extreme extents. I think people kind of think, oh, it's super extreme that like, oh, this person's only staying because of their looks. I don't think that's the case, but it's a slight little bump up in their consideration. Next one is from LovelySilentGiggles. Why Lady Bunny won't be a judge on Drag Race. Now, I've, in the past, looked it up. I didn't look it up before this video, which is probably a mistake. But I, in the past, tried to find the reason why, and I never really understood why. Because she was very easily able to be on Drag U. Like, she did Drag U. Why didn't she do Drag Race? And maybe it's something to do with, you know, the fact that Drag Race is gay men and trans women versus biological women on Drag U. Maybe it's the fact that those are supposed to be polished veterans in a way on Drag Race versus, you know, newcomers on Drag U. Maybe it's Drag Race was more serious while Drag U was more comedic. I don't really know. I don't really know the difference between why Drag U was okay for Bunny while Drag Race wasn't. I think she would have been a great judge at any point. She could have easily been in the place of, I mean, I would prefer, I don't think it's any secret that I don't really like Carson or Ross that much because they irk me a bit. They irk me, and they like a certain type of queen, while I think Rue and Michelle are way more open. And I think Lady Bunny's way more open. I don't think Carson or Ross are. I'm still surprised that she hasn't been a guest judge in a makeover challenge, and they made the makeovers lip sync Throw Your Hands Up. The Champions version, not the one from the Realness album, the one from the Champions album. Because that one's good. The remix new one I didn't like. I didn't like that one at all. But I'm surprised they have not done that yet. And this is the last suggestion from Sidney Peters. This was very recent. Can you do a video on your top 10 favorite and least favorite drag queens? I will never make a video on my least favorite drag queens because, okay, I talk about this in a future gaming video, but no one watches this, so I might as well talk about it here. I don't even know if anyone watched this one, but I kind of have this idea, if I actually dislike someone, I will ignore them. I will never think about them. I will never speak on them. Because when you do that, they go away. You will never see anyone you dislike if you just never voice it, never do anything. Now, there are times where you have to, the president, but there, you know, for the most part, if there's someone and there's no actual value in hearing them or seeing them, then ignore them. And you will never see shit about it. It's amazing. It's great. I haven't seen, or like, I'm gonna give an example, and I will guarantee after saying it, I will see them. I have not seen shit on the Kardashians in months because I just don't talk about them. I don't look at them. I actively stay away from them. But then I will see it. I will see it directly after making this video. I will see something about them at any point. So in that way, I will not make a video on my least favorite drag queens because it's just, and also don't need to put out those negative emotions. Don't even need to talk on them because that kind of negativity is just not needed. When it comes to the 10 favorites, now this is drag queens, not real girls. The 10 favorites is, I always find top 10 lists kind of weird because when it comes to like media, it makes sense. Like here's movies, songs, games, books. I always take them as, oh, here's my suggestions. Not here's a definitive list. But when it comes to actual human people, I'm like, here's a definitive list of the top 10 actual human people that exist. And I'm like, that don't sit well with me. I don't know why. It's something weird. I'm weird. I think we can all agree on that. I'm kind of fucked. But when it comes to that, it's always kind of weird. I'll say right now, my favorite drag queen is Erica Tour-Aviance. She's my favorite. She's been my favorite since I was like 13. She's been my favorite before I realized I was gay. Oh my god, that's amazing. So yeah, and also the top 10, probably changes basically every day, I don't really feel comfortable on making it. Also, don't feel comfortable making top 10 lists at all, because none of that shit is constant. I would need to change it 24/7. Top 10s are just not gonna be something that I will feel comfortable doing. But I do like the suggestion though, because I think that's a pretty easy thing to ask for someone to make. Oh, here's your favorite. Give a list of your favorite people. Like if I just did like here's a list of people I like, that would make more sense than a top 10. I may do that in the future. Let me know. But that is the last suggestion I have for today. You can leave me a suggestion in the comments and also tell me what you think about everything I talked about. There was 5 different suggestions. I know how to count. Yeah, 5. So yeah, leave me a thumb on what emotions you may be feeling right now. Comment or tweet at me suggestions for future videos. They don't have to be Drag Race related, but I know people want Drag Race related content because we're hungry. All-Star starts in January, apparently, or at least January/February, so we're gonna have a good time up until then. Oh, Dragula starts in October, so I will be recapping that as well, so get ready. Tweet me at PixelPixelBoom, I think I already said that, and I think that's it. So I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video, and remember to have fun. Bye, guys.